Imagine hearing a scream cut through the night, a scream so sharp it freezes your bonanza, and realizing it's coming from inside a burning car only a few feet away from you. If you're watching this right now, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because what you're about to hear is a true reminder that real heroes walk among us, often unnoticed in a broken bar until the moment everything depends on them. It happened just past midnight on a lonely country road where the only sounds were crickets and the hum of distant traffic. Jack Turner, a quiet mechanic who lived on a small chicken farm on the outskirts of town, was driving home after fixing a customer's truck late into the night. He was exhausted, hands greasy, clothes smelling of oil, and all he wanted was to collapse into bed. But fate had other plans. As his headlights swept across a tight curve, Jack saw something that made his heart slam into his ribs. A minivan crashed against an oak tree, flames licking up from the hood like hungry fingers. Without thinking, he hit the brakes so hard his own truck fishtailed on the gravel. The world shrank to the crackling fire, black smoke, and the faintest, most terrified wailing he had ever heard. He sprinted toward the van. Inside, the driver, a woman in her early 30s, was unconscious, her forehead bleeding, but still breathing. In the back seat were two little girls, identical twins, no older than 4, crying through the glass as smoke filled the cabin. The flames were spreading fast. Jack tried the doors locked. The heat seared his arms. He looked around wildly for anything, and spotted a large rock near the ditch. With one swing he shattered the rear window, shielding his face from the breaking glass. The girls screamed, but he didn't have time to comfort them. He reached in, coughing, vision blurring, grabbed the first twin under her arms and pulled her out, then the second, who clung to his shirt with tiny trembling fingers. He carried both girls to a safe distance, setting them on the soft grass. "Stay right here, sweetheart," he said gently, brushing soot from one of their cheeks. But the other twin pointed toward the front seat, whispering in a breaking, breathless voice, "Mommy, broken bar, Mommy's still inside." Jack didn't hesitate. He rushed back to the van just as the flames burst through the dashboard. The heat was unbearable. His skin felt like it was blistering. He unbuckled the mother's seat belt, hooked his arms under her shoulders, and dragged her out with every ounce of strength he had left. Just as he pulled her clear, the windshield exploded behind him. Sparks flew across the grass like fireflies. Jack collapsed next to the family, gasping, coughing, tears streaming from smoke-filled eyes. But they were alive, all of them. Sirens arrived minutes later, but to Jack it felt like years. Paramedics rushed in. One knelt beside him, shining a light into his eyes, asking questions. But Jack only pointed at the girls and whispered, "Make sure they're okay." He refused treatment at first, insisting others needed help more, but eventually allowed medics to bandage his arms and check his lungs. By morning, the story spread across the valley like wildfire. A mechanic who risked his life for strangers, twin girls saved from a burning vehicle, a single mom who would have died if not for him. News reporters called, neighbors stopped by, but Jack turned down every interview. He didn't think he'd done anything special. Anyone would have done the same, he kept saying. But deep down, he knew not everyone would have charged into the flames. He went to bed early that night, still sore, still coughing, still replaying the screams in his head. He didn't know the mother's name. He didn't know the girls. He didn't even know if they were still at the hospital or already home. All he knew was that they were alive, and that was enough. But when dawn came, something unbelievable happened. The ground began to shake. A rhythmic thump rolled through the air. Jack jolted awake, thinking maybe a storm was coming. But when he stepped outside onto the porch, blinking into the bright morning sun, his jaw dropped open. Helicopters of 3 of them were descending onto his farmland. Their rotors churned up clouds of dust and chicken feathers. Jack shielded his eyes, heart racing with confusion. Men and women in uniform stepped out, followed by a small, trembling family of those same twin girls, dressed in matching yellow dresses, holding hands tightly. Their mother stood behind them, tears already falling. One of the pilots approached Jack and extended a hand. "Sir, with your permission, these helicopters are here on behalf of the local rescue department, the surrounding counties, and several organizations who heard what you did last night. We wanted to thank you properly." Jack stared at him, stunned. "You flew helicopters a broken bar for me." The pilot smiled. "For a hero." The mother stepped forward. She looked pale and tired but alive, yet truly alive. She wrapped her arms around Jack before he could say a word. "You saved my daughters. You saved my life. I don't have enough words. I don't think I ever will." Her tears soaked into his shirt, but Jack didn't move. Her gratitude, raw and shaking, washed over him like a wave. Then one of the twins tugged on his pant leg. "Mr. Jack," she whispered. "Are you an angel?" Jack knelt down, his throat tight. "No, sweetheart, I'm just a mechanic." "But you came in the fire," the other said softly. "Angels come when people are scared." He smiled at them, eyes burning again, up this time with emotion. "Well, a broken bar maybe. Sometimes angels need greasy hands and old trucks too." The helicopters weren't just there for thanks. The officers and rescue workers brought awards, letters, and a donation that stunned Jack into silence. He had enough money to repair his old barn, expand his farm, and finally take a break from working 18-hour days. But the real gift came when the mother stepped forward and said, "We want you in our lives. My girls already love you. A broken bar and I do too. Please let us repay you by letting us stay connected. Your family now, if you want to be." Jack had never married, never had kids, never had anyone look at him the way she did in that moment. The farm suddenly didn't feel so empty. He nodded slowly, overwhelmed. "Yeah, broken bar, yeah, I'd like that." From that day on, Jack's farm was never quiet again. The twins came every weekend to feed the chickens and ride on the old tractor. Their mother brought home cooked meals, laughter, warmth, and slowly, something deeper blossomed. The farm became a place of healing, of second chances, of unexpected love. And every time the girls hugged him goodnight or called him Uncle Jack, he felt something inside him mend, something he hadn't realized was broken.